Hello, welcome to Oral Hygiene. It is the podcast where we look at educational films, caught and experimental films, and interesting documentaries. This is Matt here today. With me is Andrew Shearer. Hello, Andrew Shearer.
Hello, hello.
Are you ready for some sex perils?
Every day, all
Yeah.
day.
Yes, that is today's movie. It's the Sex Perils of Paulette by the legendary Doris Wishman. And this, you said this is one that you had not seen previously.
Yeah. I don't have this one, and I'd always wanted to see it because it was her first. It was like the first one she did that was like went away from like the nudist camp ones and starred in her black and white. I guess you'd consider them roughies.
Ruffies, that sounds about right. Roofies.
Yeah,
There's probably some roofies in this movie.
probably. Yeah. No, that the one that takes that drink and then she gets really lit at the party. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I wrote that in there. Would you mind giving us the deets on this one?
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Yeah, legendary is the word I would use to describe Doris Wishman, who made about 25 movies during her career. She's in terms of cult film, she's like the first woman name in cult film as far as director is concerned, and definitely the only one from back then. This is about a young lady who is an aspiring model and actor, arrives in the big city of New York, and has to kind of find her way around. And she encounters a lot of sex perils, which we'll describe here just shortly.
I guess in this case, would this be like a call girl thing?
Hmm. No. I just think there's a lot of movies that deal with someone falling into a den of iniquity, and therefore it allows them to show people with their clothes off and people doing it and stuff like that, but under the guise of a morality tale.
Here, though, even I mean, the nudie cuties have some actual nudity, and this one barely does. It definitely does the tease at the edge thing, which is fun for a cult film.
Yeah, well, see, the news camp thing, they weren't as bad about censoring those, and so they were just like goofy. There was nothing sexual about them, but in these movies, it's like sex and violence. So they got drinking and drug. You know what I mean? It's like it's everything, and so therefore, I think the kind of eye that was cast on a nudist camp movie of being harmless might cast a different eye on something like this.
Yeah, because the movie starts out and it seems to be like a key party or something. Yeah,
It's definitely like all going on. I mean, I think it's even dirtier because so much is left to your imagination.
yeah. Um, right up near the beginning, I did find entertaining the "Stop pretending to be gay" line from 1964. It's like, what do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean here.
Yeah, no, it's then when they use the term gay, I led a perfectly gay life until, it's like a historical context thing. There were always double meanings for it though, I think.
Yeah. I think she ended up in the part of Manhattan where I'd park my car. Because I was working summer camp thing one summer, and on my days off, I'd go to the city, and I didn't want to pay for parking because I was cheap, and they weren't paying me much to do the summer gig, right? So, so I felt that was a good life hack. That's oh. I don't remember what part of town it is anymore, but yeah. Somewhere near Greenwich Village with all the brownstones and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you never had so many. No, did you ever have a roommate?
well, if you count my when I first moved out of away from home, I had my girlfriend and her brother were both living there, so I feel
Oh,
like it counts.
yeah. The brother was there. I forgot about that.
Making sure we didn't get into any unmarried kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, but you never. Of course. Yeah, of course. I was just getting to Tracy is sort of this nightmare roommate, I guess.
I think Tracy's rad. Tracy's like, yeah, because Wishman's like probably wouldn't want you to call her movies feminist or proto-feminist because of the time in which they were made. Feminism or what would be like maybe, yeah, second wave feminism hadn't really happened yet. But I think the idea of a woman just walking around her apartment wearing whatever she wants, meeting a stranger and not getting dressed, you know?
Oh,
That's kind of
that wasn't the nightmare part I was going for. I was just going for the money hoarding and the weird mind games.
oh yeah, okay, so what happens is okay, so what is the main character's name?
Paulette.
Paulette. So this is all told in a flashback. Paulette is telling her boyfriend in the park about what happened to her when she first moved to New York. And so we get this story of her getting right off the bus and going to find a place to live, and then getting totally ripped off by Tracy when she gets up there. And she's like, well, here's this will cover first month's rent, and she takes out all her money, which she's supposed to never do. You never show people what money you have. She's like, oh, well, let's do it. And she's like, yeah, and that, and just starts taking. She takes 3 months rent, advance rent, right
Yeah,
out of her hand.
that first day. I know that's intense. I for some reason I got this weird thought that Tracy eventually turns into Catherine O'Hara's character in After Hours.
Yeah, yeah.
he's,
I like that. That was really good.
he's trying to dial the phone and she's just like 5, 7, 9. Ha ha ha.
Well, I mean, her lifestyle is leading her that way. I forget the actor's name that plays Tracy, but she had a twin sister that also did sexploitation movies around this time, and may have been in some of Doris's movies as well. But from what I know, they're both still alive. I would love to somebody to find them. Darlene something or other.
You think you think they would have been in the same movie sometime if they're twins. People like that sort of thing.
If they did, that's genius, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, speaking of the walking away and they're walking around in your underwear, that saves on air conditioning. So there is some practical, points to that.
It's neat to see this, because if you're familiar, I guess Doris's most well-known movies besides the Chesty Morgan ones would be Bad Girls Go to Hell, which is actually out on the Criterion channel right now of all places. And so you got to see like the beginnings of that style, but she was already there. Like, it didn't mess around. She just jumped from nudist colony, everybody like hitting volleyballs and having picnics, to like these, in the floor, black and white. I do know Russ Meyer was one of the few filmmakers that she enjoyed, and who also had his roughy period as well.
Yeah, watching this, you definitely have, the word grindhouse like going through your mind half the time. Like, this is the definition of a grindhouse film.
So yeah, she ends up at that
A
party.
modeling job.
Yeah, she's supposed to be, I don't know, it's the cliche of the casting couch, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to, she goes.
The one thing I thought that was really weird is this party seems to be held in like Alan Watts' apartment or something. Got all the Buddhas and stuff. It was just really weird. So what did I write? A few shots of an Alan Watts PBS jam, then groping.
Yeah.
Some of the music in here was cool. There was like some cool jazz guitar, but no, I don't think we should ever Lucasfilms, but Lucas films, as in 2 words, a verb, Lucas. Okay, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, in my mind, I was like, it would be cool to like put like early B-52s as the soundtrack to this.
That would be great. I really enjoy the music in these old Something Weird movies, because this is where I came to know Doris Wishman, was by buying through the mail from Something Weird after seeing Real Wild Cinema on USA when I was in high school. But they just released a vinyl. Harmony Music just released a vinyl of Doris Wishman. Like, it's 28 tracks of Doris Wishman audio, right? And it's this really awesome vinyl, and there's a DVD in there that you can play along with the record. And it's got all the trailers and voiceovers and scenes, but there's only 5 actual tracks of instrumental music, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I got I don't know if you can find them in America, but there's like these $10 like 10 CD jazz things. So you got these obscure jazz guitar albums and stuff. So you can find that stuff, but not necessarily branded as a cult film.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that library music, because it can't be. I've never heard anything else like it. At least nothing that could be used, just by anybody. That where the Creative Commons thing or whatever has passed, where nobody actually owns it.
But I guess we should get to Sam, who is I guess our the pimp role.
Oh yeah, what a piece of trash Sam is.
Yeah. At first, I thought he looked kind of like Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine, but later I thought he looked more like Sean Connery.
Okay, I had to look up when I read that note. I had to look up who that was from Deep Space Nine. No offense, but
No,
I,
that's fine. As long as you know Jeffrey Combs is there sometimes.
yeah, no. I'm not, Avery Brooks. I've actually met Avery Brooks,
Oh yeah.
but it what?
Oh, what you wanted the Spencer for Hire DVD signed by Avery Brooks, right?
No, I loved his movie Young Frankenstein. I I I I really I really thought the men in Doris Wishman's movies, but in particular in Roughies like this, they just only got one thing on their mind, and they're just like the scummiest of the scummy.
Yeah, I just watched Showgirls again, so I was kind of thinking of the parallels of that movie and this one, just in the narrative structure. And I guess Sam would sort of be like was it Andrew Carver, the rock star that justifiably gets the shit beat out of him.
God, Andrew Carver. God, he was the, I love that episode, by the way, the Showgirls episode. And I really thought everything was talked about in its proper context. But yeah, someone like Andrew Carver, he's definitely the descendant of Sam. But I think Robert Davi from Showgirls could have walked right into one of Doris Wishman's movies, or out of it, I guess I should say. He just, he had that old school scumbag look to him, although he ended up being kind of nice.
Yeah, I was about to say he wasn't as scummy. So
No, as much as crude as he was, he ended up being the nicer than all those people that she met on the way up.
but yeah, scam. Sam here is absolute trash. I don't know,
Yeah.
scam. That's too on the nose, I guess. But
But yeah, he wants the girls to that party that she goes to. It's just the producers and directors or camera people. All these dudes are just making out with women left and right, and she doesn't want to do it. And we mentioned before the girl that is there that is also shy, and she's like, "Ooh, maybe she's like me, maybe she doesn't want to do it either." She keeps, fighting off all these dudes, but then starts drinking, and the whole thing changes.
yep. That's how a roofie party rolls, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, if she wanted her name on a marquee, you go at 3 a.m., you rearrange the letters, done. You don't have to do this casting
All of
couch
this could
route.
have been avoided. Yeah, just rent a ladder.
I mean, you might need to find a marquee with the correct letters for your name, but you can work it out. You misspell your name a little bit; it's still there.
Yeah, or come up with a new one on the spot.
Um, another thing. This is the that I was like, should narrated films like is it a genre? Because running sound was so much of a extra expense and everything, so you get all these kind of narrated films.
Yeah, that's actually Doris Wishman. She didn't appear in many of her movies, and if she did, it was usually like a walk-on thing. But as far as like being the narrator for her stuff, yeah, absolutely. Because she would do first the poster and the title, then have the whole ad campaign, and then write the script based around the ad campaign, and to gauge interest in it. And a lot of times she would just film stuff and worry about the sound later. So yeah, I was wondering what you thought about her technique, because I don't know how many of her movies you've seen, but most of them are like this.
Yeah, well, on this podcast, we just did Psych by the 40 Witch, which seems to have the same MO, and it's ended in absolute insanity, and all the stock footage they use from that as well. Whereas this one seems to at least have more narrative structure. Maybe she hadn't written the script yet, but she kind of like probably had an idea where it was going.
True, and there's some parts where Tracy is like definitely talking to camera, and the voiceover's treating it like this is, because it is a story she's telling to someone, which I thought was a really clever way of getting out of having any recorded dialogue, was to have it all this flashback. She's telling a story she's telling you. So of course you wouldn't hear what people were saying, you'd hear her version of what happened over it. I think yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I love Doris Wishman is because her economy is of storytelling and of production is just, I mean, she didn't know what she was doing when she started. Her husband ran a distribution company and he died very early in his life. And so she was like, distribution, movie production, same thing.
Why not? Um,
Yeah.
are you I'm not, but are you familiar with the late, I think the 1947 Perils of Pauline movie, which this is obviously named after?
Yeah, no, haven't
Okay,
seen. I'm
I
sure
wonder.
it's
I'm just wondering
sure
if the narrative thread of that might actually be similar, which would mean she didn't write anything, but maybe already just had a basic thread in her head, you know?
more than likely she just knew of the name and just was like, oh, cool. Let me just add sex and change the name.
Well, that's
You
how
know,
we're rolling on this one anyway. So,
yeah, I mean, anything that has a little bit of a familiar sound, you know, it's that's a gold mine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you see the title, like, oh, that seems familiar, even if it's not. So,
Yeah, exactly. No, that's like she was, her husband was in film sales and distribution, so she got to kind of know the game before she played it. She just, and you see C. Davis Smith, Chuck Smith there on the camera. He was with her for, throughout her career on and off. He's the one that shot Bad Girls Go to Hell, and not often praised for his style because people look at this movie and go, yeah, they just shot a bunch of crap and they had to write a script to make it make sense and saved it all and with the voiceover, you know.
yeah.
There was more going on there.
Here's another fun one when she's in the agent's office, and it's very clearly Doris Wishman's office because it's got a bunch of posters of her movies on the walls and stuff.
They're so tiny. They're like tiny versions of her posters. You're like, oh man, what's with the playbills on the wall or the lobby cards rather?
Yeah. Anyway, I think Paulette should have pissed on the desk before she left the agent's office, having been sitting there for 2 hours.
And if Meyer Zarki had made this movie, it would have been a lot different. So instead of I spit on your grave, it's I piss on your desk.
I don't know if it's a better or worse title.
Oh no, I like it.
Yeah, yeah. I piss on your desk. Okay.
The sequel, I shit all over these walls.
And oh wait, why am I writing Jim? Who's Jim? Jim's more of an asshole than Sam, is he?
Oh, Jim. Wasn't he like the final boss level shithead?
Yeah,
Or was
that's
he?
right.
Okay.
Maybe he's the real Carver of the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what her boyfriend's name is in the beginning.
Alan.
Okay, Alan. Yeah.
Alan's just whiny when he talks. It's like, yeah,
Yes.
because he talks like this. You should probably avoid Alan.
Yeah, he's not worth telling a story to, but yeah, as a result of Alan, we all got to hear it.
Yeah. Well, Alan didn't get to talk much anyway, so.
I don't know, and thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, I put at the end, a dick move, Alan. Okay. At least there's a happy ending for everyone.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious, by the way. No, I loved this one. I really did. I enjoy watching. I just love her style. It looks a lot like all her other ones that were made around this time. But that's not a bad thing because they're you start to look at it and go, one of the questions I ask people that watch Doris Wishman movies is, can you tell a woman made this? Because Doris was not like Roberta Findlay in that she wasn't like also a misogynist. Like I think Doris really was trying to, put some kind of feminism up there in her own way.
This one, I'm thinking I would probably not, if I didn't know, I would not assume that.
Yeah.
The ending is rather bleak. I mean, if you were trying to find a feminist narrative, it doesn't work out for any of these people.
No, but it is trying to show the differences between a man entering the movie business and a woman entering the movie business.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's it's the New York scene, which adds an extra wrinkle. This kind of story is usually very Hollywood based, right? So,
Yeah. Well, Doris, after I think her husband died, I don't know if she was. I don't know if this had to have been made in New York, like you said in the notes, but I know she was based in Florida for the remainder of her career, and near the last years of her life, she ran a sex shop, selling people dildos and stuff down there. Well,
Dildos down there. That's a good name. I hope that's the name of the store. Dildos down there.
yeah, no, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like Dildo Heaven or something like
Okay,
that.
that's cool too.
What do they sell here?
She did a few late period movies though, because she didn't do anything for like 20 years basically, and then came back and had a little bit of a renaissance.
Oh, she did. Well, you're talking about the shot on video ones, or are you talking about like, oh gosh, what was it? Satan Was a Lady.
I'm bringing it up because
Um,
you're more familiar than me. I just know there were some early 2000s ones that she had done.
yeah, I'm trying to think of. I don't know when Satan Was a Lady was made, and they're because A Night to Dismember, my my favorite, because the commentary of it's like listening to a comedy album. It's C. Davis Smith or Chuck Smith or arguing like the old not married couple that they were. She's just berating him the whole time, and he's berating her.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, hold on. I'm
Oh, it's
bringing it up
hilarious.
just to give you the actual name here if I can. My computer isn't gonna drag itself along.
Yeah, but Satan Was a Lady. I know Honey Lauren, the star of it. I've interviewed her before.
That's probably what I'm referring to anyway. I'm just having a double check here. Where would you put this one in her oeuvre? Did I
Oh
say
no,
that right?
it's absolute necessity. If you're a fan of Bad Girls Go to Hell and that period of Doris's movies, or if you're a fan of like the early sexploitation or roughies, even if you like Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, I think you should probably check this out.
And yeah, Satan Was a Lady is what I was getting after. Okay. Oh, and there actually is a Dildo Heaven movie. That sounds so.
Yeah, I don't know
Dildo.
how to get a hold of that.
Okay. Anyway, that's just putting a confirm there that yes, it is Dildo Heaven you're thinking of here. Dildo Heaven you're thinking
Yeah, I
of
don't know if
that you pray to. I don't know.
yeah,
It's better
it
than
may have been
organized
in a film
religion.
or two.
Better.
Well, it's Sunday.
I do have a feeling we'll be diving back into the Wishman tank at some point anyway. So for today,
Yeah.
tell them where you're at.
Oh, so www.gonzorific.com. My friends and I here in Athens, Georgia, make our own movies, and it is the 10th anniversary of Dr. Humpenstein's Erotic Castle. And in that movie, the lead character was named Doris Wishman.
Oh, you didn't just say that's 10 years old. Okay, you did. Oh, well.
It is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Are you still like hawking the music for it? Can they at least get that? Because the DVD's out of print.
It's somewhere. I think I changed some of the tracks a little bit, and I'll put the link in for here.
Okay.
So I'm not they're not quite as dirty, I guess, but anyway, that's at rovingsagemedia.bandcamp.com, and I'll put in the notes a little more specifically which one to hit if you're looking for that particular style of music.
Yeah, that was definitely influenced by Doris and Russ Meyer, that movie.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, keep it. I don't know. This is kind of a bummer movie when you think about it. Yeah.
Keep it 100 in dildo heaven, homies.
Yeah. Keep it dildonic.